Lake William Hovel, it's chock-a-block. In fact, it's about 102%. And I'm going boat fishing in my new boat. This is my first fishing trip in my new boat. Hey, you! You're watching Robbie Boating. I catch nothing. Nothing! Now, this is my boat. If you've been following my boat journey, you've seen me out in my dad's boat. We took this for a test run at Lake Moodamere. I've been pimping it up as much as I can. I'm just in the middle of sorting out a process. I've made quite a few adaptations and changes, and I've just come up here today mostly just to test out the boat and make sure everything goes okay. I'm just in the middle of developing a system. I am going to be fishing. I've got a couple of fishing rods and some lures with me. I am going to do a bit of fishing, but I just want to test out a few things. You'll see here, this is the original Suzuki fuel tank. That can stay in the car. That's about half full because I bought this. I wanted a plastic fuel tank and I wanted a smaller one, an 11 litre one, because it's lighter and I wanted more weight down the, less weight down the back. The problem is the thread here isn't a very good fit and I could not find an adapter. It's too close to be able to use some kind of a like a step down or a reducer. So I've had to wrap it in thread tape. I actually found that there is a thread tape around that's for use with petrol engines, with petrol fuel lines and stuff, but I can't do it up overly tight. I don't know how that's going to go, and that's why I brought the original tank with me. If I have any issues, I will just come back to the car and swap tanks. I brought a 54-pound thrust transom mount electric motor, a water snake, and I've just got a rope over it there. This rope isn't tight. That cord there is what's holding the boat down. This is here just to stop that bouncing around. I've got a new battery. I'll tell you all about that when I'm on the water. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to just get set up, get out on the water, get ready to go fishing, and see how everything goes. And during the video, I'll just run through a few things with you and show you what my boat looks like. Right, well, the launch worked. I've got a really long rope here, and I just put tied a loop in the end so that I could throw it over there, launch back out. Anybody that's ever launched a boat at Lake William Hovel when it's full knows how much of a horrible boat ramp it is. It's too flat. You've got to back way out into the water. So I got this really long rope. I tied one end to the front of the boat and the other end to the trailer, and I just pulled up nicely. You will notice while it's in there, it's leaning to the left. That's deliberate. I've got more weight on that side of the boat because I'm going to be sitting on that side. So just in an attempt to try and balance it out a little bit. Anyway, I'll go and park my car, then we'll set sail. Right, the moment of truth. It's time to set sail. Can I get in without getting my feet wet? If it was a bit steeper I could, but I don't know about here. Anyway, let's try it. Right, I used the electric motor to get me out from the bank a bit. Righto, I've just rigged up this little Domiki Disco. I'm going to troll with that for a while. It's the 1st of September today. The water's too cold for redfin. I don't know how I'll go with any trout. I might catch a redfin, I might catch a trout. I'll probably catch nothing, but you never know. Right, I'm going to troll with the petrol motor, then I'm going to switch over and troll with this electric motor and give that a go. Something that's going to take me a while to get used to with this old motor is the gear selector on the side. My old Mercury, it was on the tiller, forward, neutral, reverse. You never had to reach around and touch the motor at all. Now I've got to work out where the steering friction is because it's very loose. I'm sure there have been adjustments somewhere. This one down here is for tilting the motor, but it's not for the steering friction. Now some of the things I've done, I had to replace the fuel line from that old fuel tank. I ended up getting a whole new tank, but I wired up this new fuel line here. I wired it up, but I had to put new connections on it. I've got a new fuel line, it's a little bit bigger, so I want to test to make sure that's okay. I want to make sure this works and that there's no fuel dripping out of there, and so far it's so good. I was taking a bit of water in through the bung hole at the back, so I bought a new bung and it's still taking water in, so there's further investigation required there. Now I bought this 54 pound water snake trolling motor. I prefer a transom mount over a bow mount. It's in the way a little bit, but it's still better than a bow mount. Most people like bow mount, but I prefer transom mount. The only issue I've got this huge big battery just here. I wanted that up the front to put weight in the front of the boat because it must weigh 40 kilograms. It's a full river 120 amp hour AGM battery. I don't even know what that means, but my mate Straubs, he manages Bachmann batteries in Albury, and I went and I said to him I want the best battery I can get for a trolling motor, and he sold me that. But unfortunately the cords for the water snake don't even reach to the middle there, so I wanted that battery up the front there, way up the front. You can extend the leads, but you've got to replace them with thicker leads than what's already on there. You can't just clamp extra leads on the end, so that's a bit unfortunate. I just wanted I wanted an electric trolling motor because I love trolling with an electric motor, and that's probably what I'll do most of. I just wanted to troll with this petrol motor for now, just to see how it goes, whether it idles slow enough, and so far all is good. I've got that big box up there, that's got all my safety gear in it. That's got my, it's got a spare life jacket. It's got some 2-stroke oil, a measuring cup, my bailing bucket is in there, my torch, my fire extinguisher, that's all in that black bucket. And I've got all that up the front. I've got my spare wheel up the front from the trailer, just to put a bit of weight up the front. Obviously, if I've got somebody with me, I can take that out. And all my oars are up the front there as well, all my safety gear's up there. Just to try and balance it out a little bit, because these little tinnies, they are a little bit topsy-turvy, if you know what I mean. But anyway, I'll troll with this petrol motor for just along here, and then I'll motor up to the top of the lake, and then I might switch to the electric motor. I want to fish for as long as I can with that electric motor and just see how much power it drains out of this battery. Righto, let's get this electric motor up and running. Righto, I've changed to this little one well lunch. Not going to work, is it? I'm going to put that down. There we go. Right, let's try this electric trolling motor and see how it goes. How much quieter is that? Right, so I'm trolling on 2. It goes up to 5. It's got 5 forward speeds. And 2 is for trolling. It's good. So if I want to troll a Tassie Devil, which I'm planning on doing later, I'll probably need to be on 3. Because I generally troll Tassie Devils a bit faster than diving lures. I'm just tapping the bottom, so I might move out a bit deeper. The plan is I'm going to just troll with these diving lures for a bit, try and pick up a redfin. Then I'm going to go up the river, right up to the junction of where the creek and the river meet, which is pretty much the top of the lake. I'm going to put my underwater camera in, which is here, and see if anything swims past. And I'm going to spend a bit of time up there just fishing the right at the top end of the arm. just in the hope that maybe there might be a trout or two making its way back down into the lake after spawning. This is something I'm not used to doing in my kayaks. Just standing up and having a stretch. Standing up while I'm trolling. I might reel in here and just motor up to the top end of the lake. I want to put my underwater camera in, and then I want to spend a bit of time up there. So far, I'm not liking my seat. I've got to get a new seat, and I have been offered a new seat. Sonny said he's got a spare one there that I can have if I want it. So I might have to take him up on that offer, I think. Fuel tank's going well, no fuel leaks, hose is working, everything's working. There's still water coming in the back, so I'm going to have to fix that problem. Happy with the electric motor. I've got to work out how to adjust the steering friction on here. There's a fair bit of current pushing through here. Well, if I was a fish, I'd be hanging out here near these reeds, I reckon. $1080, 30, super wide. 87% battery, that's not too bad. Let's go. That's not all, it's only 4 foot deep. Maybe I better go out a bit further. Well, let's try out a bit further here. We're recording. Not very deep, maybe 4 or 5 feet deep. I'll go in the middle there and just put that in and see how that goes. Well, let's just try out here in the middle of nowhere and see how we go. That's better. I don't actually know which direction the camera's facing, but it's in quite a bit deeper. It's in about probably 9 or 10 feet of water. I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm going to just drift around for a bit and cast this little white bullet lure around, a little 3 centimetre bullet. I've chosen this simply because it casts so well. I drifted around that top arm of the lake for about an hour, a bit under an hour, casting the bullet lure and also a Strike Tiger Nymph soft plastic. I did not have a single touch, so I decided to go and pick up my underwater camera, which had been in the water for 50 minutes, and head downstream and troll for trout. That's when I started having problems. Right, well I'm going to start the petrol motor, go up, pull my underwater camera out, motor back down to the main lake, and then see if I can troll a trout, a late afternoon trout. Still going. I think it's off. Well, let's just try out here in the middle of nowhere and see how we go. Well, apart from having one snag directly in front of the camera, I had quite a good view. The water was clearer than I thought. Unfortunately, not much swam past the camera, but I did get a few visitors only a few minutes before I checked the camera. keep your eye on the left-hand side of the screen behind that snag, and soon you'll see a trout swim into the shot. There he goes, and now another one on the right. Of all the times I've used my underwater camera, I've never actually filmed a trout swimming around. That's a first for me. Now let's just fast forward a few more minutes. Now here comes another trout from the right hand side. He swims away, swims out of view, but then he comes back down the other side. It could be two fish, one going each way. I suspect it's the same trout just swimming around, or he might have done a U-turn. But anyway, there he goes. I'm just happy to have picked up trout with my underwater camera for the first time. Look at the smoke. Gotta love a two-stroke. Uh-oh. having a lot of outboard motor issues. I go about 100 metres and then it starts flooding or something. Oops. Here it goes. Just starting to go now. Get about 100 metres and then it dies. I don't know what's happening here. I'm not concerned because I've got this electric that'll get me back, no worries. Certainly getting plenty of exercise. Right, it's nearly 5 past. I've got about an hour of daylight left. I'm going to trial this Go Fishing Victoria Tasmanian Devil, and I'm going to trial it with my casting rod because I just like using monofilament line for Tassie Devils. I've never liked trolling them with braided line. I've got some serious issues with this outboard motor. I don't know what the problem is. It runs for about 20 seconds and then it stops. I don't know whether it's starving for fuel, or it could be a fuel filter problem, or whether it's getting too much fuel, not enough fuel. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I've got decisions to make. Remember, I've got my dad's boat that I can take out any time, so I need to wonder how much money do I really want to spend keeping this old motor up and running if it's going to be unreliable. Do I go and get it fixed properly? Or do I say stuff it and just use this as an electric motor boat? I was thinking I could get another one of these. I thought something hit my lure then. I was thinking I could get another one of these huge big batteries. They're quite expensive, but I could put it up the front. That would give me lots of weight up the front. And I could just fish all day with one of them, have a spare one if I needed it, and just use my dad's boat if I want to go somewhere like Lake Nillakuti. Decisions. I've just put that rod in that rod holder, and that's a sort of nearly a surface lure. It's only just under the surface. So I'm going to troll 2 lures. I'll put this little diver on at the back. This won't be out half as far as the Tassie Devil, but it'll be deeper. So the chances of them getting tangled are pretty slim. I've got that drag set nice and loose, so if a fish hits it, I should be able to hear it. Wow, I didn't catch any fish, but this trip was more about the boat test. There's a couple of things that I really like about this boat, and there's a couple of things I'm not sold on. The test was semi-successful. The motor keeps breaking down, and I've been thinking all the way back. I've trawled all the way back from up in the arm. I'm back at the boat ramp now, and I've resigned to the fact that I'm going to try one thing. I'm going to put the old tank on with the old fuel line, hook it all up and see how it goes. If it's still problems inside, I'm probably going to ditch the motor completely, rather than investing more money on getting it up and running, just because I love the smell of two-stroke and it's got sentimental value. I reckon I might just use this boat as an electric-only boat. I've got my dad's boat. I can use it any time if I want to go into a bigger lake like Lake Nillakuti. I can bring it here if I want to, but I can go to Lake Nillakuti or Lake Hume. This boat's most likely only going to be used at Lake William Hovel and Lake Buffalo and maybe in the river from time to time anyway. So I reckon I'll make a couple of changes. If the motor doesn't go, I'll just make it electric only. That way I can put this motor out here in the middle of the boat. I can do away with all the fuel tank, the motor, the whole lot. And if I want it for extended trips, I can have a second battery up the front, which will be nice and heavy up the front, and just use it to bring up here. So it goes well. That's in top. It's hard to say when I'm far away from the bank, but that top speed, that's hooking along. That's going pretty well. I love the boat. I love that I can put the rod holders in here and troll one out that side and hold one out this side. I really like that. I've got to get a more comfortable seat. I've got to fix the bung. It's letting a bit of water in down the back here. Other than that, everything else is done pretty well. There's room for improvement, put it that way. Anyway, folks, it's a fishless video, but this was more about testing the boat, and I'm quite happy with it. Thank you all very much for watching.